because he's not allowed to buck around me. Not from this time, ever again. He's not allowed to buck with me. So now I want to go into teaching him how to move his hips around before I get on him, so I can control him a little bit with his body. So I'm going to pick up a rein right here. I'm going to focus on this spot right here. I'm just going to tap him. Tap, tap, tap. And as soon as he moves his hip over, I'm going to release pressure. Now the tapping was just like this. It wasn't very hard. You know, this horse should never, ever in his entire life be scared of anything I'm ever going to do to him. I want him to start learning how to do those tiny quarters. You know, again, if he is a kicking horse and he has kicked out the owners and caused a lot of damage, with kicking horses, I really do want them to move their hips away from me. I don't want them to move their hips into me. So we're not going to spend too much more time on this because he is starting to move his hips. Good. And soften his nose in both directions. And next we're going to want to do the mounting and dismounting. Good. There you go. Good boy. Okay, so now we're going to go under saddle. I'm, satisfied that, you start to soften up pretty nice, and we'll continue under saddle. Now, bucking and rearing. A lot of people, when we're dealing again with a 1,000-pound animal, a lot of people get hurt every week from bucking horses. They get bucked off, and they end up going to the ER room and seeing the ER doctor, emergency doctor, to get, cast on or whatever happened, a concussion. So again, it's really nothing to be playing around with. It's something you want to get taken care of. So the first thing we did is I asked him to soften his nose, because that's what I'm going to want him to do if he starts to buck. Second thing, I want him to start moving this hip around for me. All right, but before that, I'm going to, I know they've been on him. I know he's bucked them off. I know he's reared them off. All right, I'm going to sit and put them like this. So I'm going to start with some precepts of mounting and dismounting. One, can I sit here and kick the stirrup around a little bit? Will you move? No, it's pretty good for that. So we'll say good boy. Secondly, I'm going to aim the stirrup towards me. I'm going to put my foot inside the stirrup. I'm going to be back here by his front leg. By his front leg, I can't get struck by the front leg. I'm off to the side of it, and I can't get struck by the hind leg. So I'm in a pretty safe spot. So he didn't mind me putting my foot in the stirrup. So I'll put my foot back in the stirrup and put a little bit of weight behind it. Watch his ears, watch his face. Seems like he's in a good mood. All right, not a problem. We'll do the same thing on the other side so other people can see here in a minute. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get his attention on me. Yeah, want him to pay attention to me. I'm going to hop around here to the side. I'm going to pat him on the butt, on the stomach. If he stands still, tell me he's a good boy. This is what I wanted. So many people have mounting and dismounting issues. This is how I get horses out of it. If he was starting to move off, I'd flex his nose. Pay attention to me. I'd flex his nose, and I would move his hip. And he's going to want to stand still after a while. So now I'm going to go halfway up in the saddle. I'm going to cross my legs. Stand still. Great. I'm going to go ahead and step back down off his back. Tell me he's a good boy. That's what I wanted. Now, I always do things from both sides, whether it's mounting, dismounting, getting on, getting off, whatever the case may be, especially if it was an unbroke horse, because, if he's an unbroke horse, I still want to do everything on the left side and put my leg over, and he goes, oh, wow, I've never seen you on that side before, up in the saddle like that, and then they take off bucking. All right, so he's nice and quiet. I like this. Doesn't look like he's thinking about trying to buck me off or anything over here. So the first thing I do is I'm going to pick one of the upper rein. Let's see. Oh. I'm going to touch him again. There he's kind of leaning against me a little bit. I'm just going to sit here and hold him. Huh. There's nothing over there for you to look at. There he gave to it, and there he moves his hip. Good. Because that's what's going to happen if he goes to bucking. I think he's going to, because like I said, most of the problems we could solve on the ground before we ever get under saddle. At least 75% of it we get solved from the ground. 75 to about 90% we get solved from the ground before we ever get on the horse. Yeah, most horses do buck from fear. They do rear from fear. There are very few horses out there that will actually buck because they want you off their back. Good boy. Very few actually buck just to get you off. But there was one back in California I was working with, and I knew he bucked. We did some work with him for about a week. He decided to take him out on a trail. And we got about 5 miles out, and the horse bucked me off. And then he ran 20 yards from me and stopped and ate grass. So I got up, I walked up to him, and as I was about to catch him, he took off and ran another 20 yards and ate green grass. And he did that all the way home, 5 miles home. He did that to me. I told him, well, when we get home, you're going to go in that round pen again, and you're going to understand what round penning is all about, and you're going to learn to come to me when called. And I can't believe he did that to me all the way home. Every 20 yards, I'd catch up to him, he'd take off, stop, and eat green grass with me. I was pretty hot by the time I got home. Actually, I had to stick in the round pen. Then I had to go sit down somewhere and cool off for a little bit. Then go work them. So what we're doing right now is we're doing it from the standstill. Will you flex and move that hip from a standstill? And here in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and start introducing what legs mean again. So I don't know, maybe that may be bumped. Good. So remember now, we started this from the ground. I started teaching how to get to the bed and move his hips from the ground. So now I'm on him. I'm not changing anything around. Same thing with the unbroke horse. When I get on the unbroke horse the first time, this is exactly what I do. I already did it on the ground. I taught him how to get to fit and move your hip. I'm not going to get up on the unbroke horse or a bucking horse or a rearing horse or a bolting horse and a runaway horse and start doing something new. Start doing something different. I'm going to keep doing what I was doing all along. That way it's not a surprise. I'm not going to climb on the unbroke horse for the first time and say, bump, bump, let's start walking, let's start trotting, let's start cantering. I'm certainly not going to have somebody from the ground lead the horse off for me. When I'm starting on unbroke horses, it's not the person on the ground. It's not their responsibility to get that horse started, it's mine. So my responsibility, it's my name out there, it's Hamilton Stud Training out there, it's their name. I'm doing this by myself. I'm going to get on the unbroke horse by myself, and I'm going to get them moving around by myself without bucking, without rearing, without throwing a fit. And, when I do start the unbroke horse, the first time I'm on them, I'm on them for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then I get off, and I throw the horse break, and I put them away.